Record. 14th of October, Rabbi Levitt, Horeb.
Okay. I saw Alan. I clicked him in. Okay, yeah.
He's in, but he's not got his controls set up right. Alan, we cannot see or hear you.
Maybe he went away from his computer for a minute.
Yeah, that could
be back. Okay. Okay, and the sukkah preparations continue.
572.
572 I got. Yeah.
Everyone is liable to the duty of tzedakah. Even the poor man who is living on tzedakah shall give tzedakah from what he can spare from his upkeep. The child who eats at his father's table and the servant who eats at the table of his master may give a morsel of bread to the poor without question, for it is tacitly permitted. Do you wish genuinely to fulfill the duty of tzedakah? And let it be the best of your possessions that you sacrifice, the best food to the hungry, the best raiment to the naked. For it is a sacrifice laid upon God's altar. Let it be a worthy sacrifice. When you can, give according to the need of the poor. If your means do not allow it, give at least 1/10, at most 1/5 of your wealth as tzedakah. Do this the first year that you acquire wealth. Thenceforward, give 1/10 or 1/5 of your yearly income. No one shall give more than 1/5. He himself shall not become needful of help. Oh, we switched Mayor for Alan.
Morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning. Alan's not coming today?
No, he was here, but I looked up and he was gone and you were here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He must
Maybe
have
he'll come back.
at the same time that you came in, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, now he's off completely.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
That's strange.
he's up.
Yeah. I don't have him on the lineup over here.
Right.
Before I had him on the lineup with a red mic and a red screen, but now we don't have anything.
Oy.
I don't know what that means.
Probably it means his computer had a problem. Could have an internet problem, or it's hard to know what caused it. But he lost his connection.
Okay.
At any rate, I was reading, so that he himself shall not become needful of help. The 10th that has been put aside shall, for preference, be for the benefit of the poor, but it may also be employed for other sacred purposes, which without this money you could not have aspired to, for instance, to buy books for your own as well as others' study of the Torah, which otherwise you would not have been able to afford. But then they will not be your exclusive property, which you may sell again or otherwise dispose of. You must not, however, repay out of this 10th any services which have been rendered you. That which you give, give with a friendly mind, with a good and cheerful heart, with feeling and with kindly consoling words. If you give in a surly manner, then it is your face taking back what your hand has given. Let me just turn this off. If you cannot accede to the requests of the needy, do not turn him angrily away. Give him encouragement. Show him your good will and that it grieves you not to be able to help him. Never turn a poor man empty away, even if it be only a scrap of bread that you give him. If you can persuade others to do good, then you have the double reward of charity and the encouragement of charitable living.
Okay.
Now,
I see you got more over here on the other side.
yeah, my page stuck together. There are 8 degrees of charity in the following order. 1, the highest is when you, through gifts, loans, or business partnerships, set the poverty-stricken once more to work so that they become independent and need no longer beg. 2, giving to the poor so that the giver does not know to whom the charity goes, and the receiver does not know from whom it comes. Almost at this level is the money given to public charities, if the administrator is known to be reliable and prudent. When the giver knows to whom he gives, but the receiver does not know from whom he receives. 4, when the poor man knows the giver, but the latter does not know him. 5, giving to the poor without being asked. 6, giving when requested only the bare needs. 7, giving less than is requested, but giving sympathetically. 8, giving with ill grace. A man must never boast of his charitable acts. Charity of which you boast loses its value and becomes sin. But it is permissible to show the name of the donor on something dedicated to the public weal. It is good to give alms before each prayer. It is great charity to provide a poor bride with a dowry. It is greater when you support that pillar of social life, divine service. It's still greater when you spend on instructing the youth of Israel in the Torah and on the care of the needy sick.
Okay. All right. Okay, so very good. So that's 572. And we'll go to 573. We go to Mayor to continue, please.
Okay. If you are on your own and your means are sufficient, you should satisfy fully the needs of the poor. In a community, give as much as you can and direct the charity of your fellow members towards the poor. The poor man who begs from door to door has a lesser claim on you than the one who does not. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Everyone in need has a claim on your charity. Those poor who are not Jewish, even those who practice idolatry, are cared for in the like fashion, as all are parts of one all-embracing mankind. However, to the Ger Toshav, to a non-Jew who, not practicing idolatry, is undertaken to fulfill the 7 general duties, the law accords a claim on your charity fully equal to that of a Jew.
Really?
That's the no hide commandments, right? That's, I think they're talking.
Yeah, I think so. That's what he's referring to.
Okay. What is spent on sons and daughters grown beyond the age at which their maintenance is a legal obligation is also called tzedakah. Such items include their upkeep, maintenance, care, the instruction of one's sons, one's sons, in the knowledge and observance of the Torah, the education of one's daughters in the good life. The same applies to parents in need. Indeed, this, as well as the support of relatives in general, has precedence over support for others. The father's brothers and sisters have precedence over those of the mother, the poor in the house over those of the town, those of the one's own town over those of another, even of a town situated in Eretz Israel, and even if the strangers have come to your own town. Everything else being equal, the inhabitants of Eretz Israel have precedence over others. Care for yourself comes first, and as long as you have not enough for your own needs, you are not subject to any tzedakah duty. The next in line after yourself are father and mother, next your children, then your brothers and sisters, then your relatives, neighbors, and your fellow citizens and strangers. The duty of the relatives of a poor person to support him always precedes that of all other citizens who can afford it. If you can, take a poor person into your house and service. Feeding the hungry is more important than clothing the naked. Women have a better claim to support than men. Give food to him who asks for it without investigating whether he needs it. Clothing after investigation. But if you know him, clothe him without ado. The ransoming of slaves and prisoners, however, has priority over everything else.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, there's definitely a hierarchy of how one should give.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, this is what he said over here. The poor person who begs from door to door has a lesser claim on you than the one who does not. He quotes Yoredea. I guess that's where the Hilchah Tzedakah is in over there in Yoredea.
Aha.
Um, then he says an interesting thing that if there's a non-Jew who's keeps the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Noach, he has the same claim on your charity, fully equal to that of a Jew. Like to see the source for that. He says, look in paragraph 503. Oh, this was
503.
rejoice that in Europe and America other places, non-Jewish people have become illuminated by the revelation of the one God given to you and have adopted a doctrine which teaches them to perform the 7 duties, which according to your doctrine are binding on all men. According to your law, he who expressly accepts these duties in the presence of 3 persons, as having been enjoined upon all men by Hashem in his revelation to Moses, because that's what the Rambam says, that they have to, it's not enough for them to just they have to keep them with this he says they have to make an express declaration, accepts these duties in the presence of 3 persons as having been enjoined by all men by Hashem in his revelation to Moses. The reason that that's their kavanah, that they're keeping it, that's kilu like their kavanah lishma. Not just because they think it's a good idea, but because they're keeping it because Hashem commanded Moshe on Har Sinai in regard to the nations of the world that they have to observe the 7 Noahide laws. So that gives them a status of a ger toshav. And towards such a man, you are not only to practice all the obligations of justice, as indeed also towards any idolater, but the Torah also commands you to perform towards him all the duties required by an active love. Ata mitzuva lahachioso. So in other words, if he falls upon hard times financially or otherwise, you have an obligation from the Torah to assist him. Because he performs all the duties which Hashem requires of him. Doesn't require him to keep the Torah. He requires him to keep the 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach, and that's what he's doing. So you can't withhold anything just based upon the fact that he's not performing the duties of the Torah that is incumbent upon Jews. Because he hasn't been commanded in that. He's doing everything that he's been commanded in. So that's what he's referring to us over here. Okay.
Wow.
But this one, what he says about from the door to door is not the same claim as the one that's not. I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah.
What's it have to do with going door to door?
Maybe it has to do with the anonymity that you can give anonymously to somebody who you don't see. Like if you give Ravad Hatstaka, if you give to a neighborhood Vod and they distribute the money, nobody knows who it came from. It's a higher level.
Yeah, what was this level? It's he doesn't just it's not this doesn't appear in the 8 levels that I see. It doesn't appear. Strange. Number 5 is giving to the poor without being asked, but here the person is coming to you and asking. Let's see. Maybe we'll see something. Generally, if he quotes something, it's because it's found in the Shulchan Aruch. Let's see if we could see what it says over there. We have time.
Yeah.
What is this? This is Aruch. Right. Okay. That's not what we want. So I'll put this back and bring your data. Ibn Abi'im, Od Rabo, Talmud Torah, Hilchos Tzedakah. Interesting. This is Siman Resh Mem. So Resh Mem stands for Ram, exalted and elevated. Oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Resh Mem does stand for exalted and elevated, but we're looking for Resh Nun, not Resh Mem.
Oh.
You know what Resh Mem is? Resh Mem is Kibbut Aveim.
Oh.
Okay, so this is Resh Nun, Kama Roy Litain Lekol Echad Be'echad. Bo Amisha Seifim. Okay. Maybe we could. Oh, Alan is trying to come in.
All right. Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice. Oh, we see his screen now.
Okay.
Here he is. Oops.
Hi, Leanne. Sorry.
Hi, Alan.
Okay, good to see you, Alan.
Same here.
Okay, we're doing. We're in the middle of. We're just the middle of 573.
573. Okay.
We already read it,
If you're
and
on
we're looking up something that he said over here
okay.
in the Shulchan Aruch. Okay, so I'm going to read from the Shulchan Aruch over here. So let's see if we so we can see what it is that he said over here. Somebody who comes to the door and requests for tzedakah has a lesser claim than someone who does not. So, kama nosnim la'ani de machzoro asher yaksolo ketzad im haya ra'av. Okay, so that's a question of how much to give him. Okay, that's Sif Aleph. Let's go to this. Okay. Oh, here we are. This might be the one. This is in Yordea, Reish Nun, Sif Gimel. Ani hamachazer ala psochim. If you have a poor person who is he's going on the doors. He's going from door to door. Machazer ala psochim. Ein nosnin lo mehakupa matana maruba. Ella matana muetes. So he's going around working for himself, trying to collect. So therefore, ein nosnin lo mehakupa. We don't give from the kupa, from the tzedakah fund, I guess, of the community, a matana maruba. We don't give him a large stipend. Ela matana muetes. We give a smaller one. Okay, so I mean, this is not talking about a person, not talking about a private person. It's talking about the gaboyim of the tzedakah fund, as far as I can see.
Oh.
The way Rev Hirsch brought it, you wouldn't know that.
Right.
He seems to hold that it applies also to a private individual. I mean, I guess the svora applies. What's the svora? The svora is that, assuming that a community has a local tzedakah fund that the community contributes to, and it's their responsibility to investigate who needs tzedakah and find worthy recipients that need, and then a person gives to that tzedakah fund, and like that he fulfills his obligation to give tzedakah. So, and of course, one of the things is, like Lou said, that like that, it's really the highest form in a sense, because the giver doesn't know who he's giving to, and the receiver doesn't know who he's receiving from.
Mm-hmm.
But over here, it seems as though it seems to that without looking at all the commentators over here on the Shulchan Aruch, based upon what we read so far, maybe we should do that. But just off the top of my head, what it sounds like, what he's saying is, oh, here we got the Sifsei Cohen, the Shach is that's the source for Rev Hirsch. Sifsei Cohen says right over here on the spot, Mehakupa, is that where he's going on? Yeah. In other words, the Shulchan Aruch is talking about the tzedakah fund. How should they give their distributions? So if they know that somebody's going around on their own, so they say, oh, so you're working for yourself, so you don't need us so much. we're going to give more to the one who's not working for himself and doesn't go out from door to door. That's what it says in Shulchan Aruch. So the Shach says, "V'hu adin mikol yochid beyochid, hamachazer etzlo ein tzarich leteit lo matana meruba." Kach pirush Bach l'dasa Rambam b'tur, and that's the way the Bach understands the Rambam and the Tur. The reasoning seems to be not because of that it's a higher or lower form of giving, but that the person is since he's going out on his own, you give him less, because the person who's not going out on his own and is totally relying on the what do you call it, on the fund, so he's going to get more. Although you don't, I mean, in other words, what is he saying as it works out to a person? What it means for every private individual like ourselves is that the overwhelming majority of your tzedakah should be given not to somebody who comes to the door, but to somebody who doesn't come to the door, meaning who are you going to give it to? You're going to give it to the local tzedakah fund, and they're going to give it to those people who are not coming to the door. And they give less to people that do go around, because they're taking the law into their own hands, so to speak.
But okay. I would think that it wouldn't really matter so much whether the person is going door to door or not, as it matters what the person's need is. If a person is extremely poor compared to someone who is just slightly poor, I would think that the fund would give more to the extremely poor person, even if that person is going door to door. I would think that they would say, okay, let's look at how much you're making when you go door to door and how that affects your situation. And let's say you have one person who's got 10 children and some kind of illness that prevents him from working. And, he's going door to door, but he's not really getting very much. He's getting, shekels. And compared to another person who has, maybe 2 children, and he's not going door to door, but he doesn't need as much.
Okay, so the way I would answer what your question is, you're saying basically what you're bringing up, Louis, is that there's other factors in the calculation. It's not just whether he's going door to door. It's a question of what is his need. So the way I would answer that is as follows: Of course that's so. In other words, you have to read this halakha that we're saying over here. I mean, we didn't read all the halachas, but I would assume that what this halakha means is all other factors being equal.
Right.
And if they have the equal need, then the one that goes to the door, he's going to get less than the one who's not. So what does that mean? To get less than the one who's not? He's not coming to the door. You're obviously not going to give him anything. What do you mean he's going to give less? So that's what we're saying. The Shulchan Aruch is not really talking to private individuals. He's talking to the tzedakah fund, and the Shach says, but this principle should be applied for private individuals as well.
I wonder if there might not be another factor here. If I can try and explain what I'm thinking. you might say, a person might say, look at this poor person. He's not doing anything. He's not going door to door even. He's not deserving. Whereas the person who's going to door, so he's trying, so he should get more. Maybe you might think that, and therefore the halakha is telling you, no, don't think that.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, that's really the whole idea of the tzedakah fund, so that they don't have to go door to door, right?
Right.
What do you have a tzedakah fund? Let them all go door to door. Let them take care of themselves. No, we don't do like that. We wanna get involved, and so that they don't have to do that.
Right.
So that makes our level of giving. We remove the embarrassment and the shame from these people from having to do such a thing.
Right.
And also it allows the people who are in the fund, they can make a real investigation of all of the cases and really come up with the cases which really need are worthy cases, as opposed to those who are not that they're not worthy, but they may be less needed or less worthy, whatever it is. That all these most of these funds, they're beset by all sorts of halachic questions that they take to a rav. So the tzedakah is being distributed according to the halacha that's been paskin by a Talmid Chacham. So that's a higher level of giving than simply arbitrarily giving to this person at the door and giving to that person at the door. Of course, somebody comes to your door, you give them you give them something because they came to the door, chutz. But you shouldn't turn them away empty-handed. But you don't really know who they are and what they are and anything like that. So so that's what it is. You don't know if they're being supported. Supported. That they're being given something also by a tzedakah fund as well. You don't know the whole. You don't really know. You don't really know. So it's not the majority of a person's tzedakah should not be given at the door.
In Los Angeles, they had a Avad HaTzedakah that they used to investigate the Meshulchim, and they would give each one a letter after they investigated that they could take with them when they went door to door, and it would explain their situation. And you could read this letter and it would say, this person has this disease, or he has this many children, or whatever the situation was, it would explain the hardship. So that you could make a decision of how much to give him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Rabbi.
Oh, it's
time.
Okay.
Wow.
Time flies.
All right, everybody. Have a great day, and Hatzlacha Rabbah, everybody getting their sukkah up and decorated, and Daled Minim, and all the other preparations that have to be done for the Yom Tov Bezrat Hashem. Should be done with Menuchas HaNefesh and Simchas HaChayim.
Uh-huh.
Amen.
Oh, thank you. Lou, we're going today?
Yes, remember, I'm coming a little earlier, Alan. I'm coming at
Right.
at
Remember.
20:05.
Okay, all right, got it.
Afterwards, Alan, I'm gonna have to stop at the store and get some water.
Sure, no problem.
All right, see you tomorrow, Rabbi.
Okay, all the best. Bye, Alan. Bye,
Well.
Mayor. Bye, Lou.